I suppose, first of all, I suppose, you know, where I started playing ball first was at home. I used to use the window of the houses for my goalpost. The mother wasn't too impressed, but yeah, I suppose I took it on from the brothers. They used to always kind of use the two top windows, and that's where I started off kicking any, and you know, obviously broke the odd one, but that was the first. I suppose as I progressed, it was you know, as I got I suppose bigger and stronger, it was the two chimneys over the houses. So I kicked the ball over the house, go running through the house and collect the ball, and the same thing repeated a few times. I suppose as I went on another year or two, then it was kind of the pier. We used to play on the piers, the brothers, a lot. I suppose there's a small pier and there's a big pier in Union Hall, like, and we're only 20 yards off it, so we used to try to kick the ball from pier to pier without it falling in the water. I suppose then, like, you know, I used to watch a lot of TV and a lot of GA as a young fella, and I suppose, like, you know, I used to notice all the top players used to kick off both feet, so I suppose it was kind of going back to the windows and kicking it off my left, then, you know, over the house to the left, and gradually over time, with a lot of balls gone down the harbour, kicking the ball from the small pier to the big pier at my left leg. I suppose then, you know, when I was allowed to go up to the Blackfield and whatnot, I lived morning, noon, night there. You know, I might have went there straight after school till 6 o'clock, and maybe we're training then, and you know, stayed up there again after training. It was just, you know, it was kind of my second home really. I used to have a ball. I was lucky enough to have I suppose the best pair of football boots, the best pair of gloves. You know, the parents never let me down that side of things. But in terms of, you know, it was just I was stone mad for it. I was first since the day I was born, I had a ball in my hand, and it was, you know, it was always for me, and it was something I always wanted to play. I wouldn't have gone to too many Cork games as I was very young. My first idol would have been Brain Hurley with Castlehaven. Simple reason was he was unstoppable at minor 21 level. I still can't understand how he didn't make it at senior. You know, I can remember him 2003 county final even, you know, kicking points from 50 yards nearly with ease, like, you know what I mean. The ball was going over the bar 30 yards. It was just something I always looked up to. I suppose, in fairness, his late mother Elizabeth was very close to my mother, and I suppose I would spend a lot of time with Paddy around the place. As time went on, I suppose I grew up more. David Limerick would be another one. I suppose he's a first cousin of mine, but he's club mate, and he went on to win an All-Ireland with Cork at 21 level. I suppose, you know, that was kind of the time I knew I wanted to be involved with when a Cork set up. I was mad to go to the games. I was lucky enough to be at all the games. 2006 they lost the All-Ireland final. In 2007 I was lucky enough to be there watching him, and I said, this is where I want to be. Yeah, I suppose my main battle would have been with Stephen. You know, he's 4 years older than me. He used to give me a bit of a hard time most of the time really, but I suppose as I grew older, I grew stronger. We definitely had good battles, and I think we were even enough, you know, over the last few years. I suppose Michael would have came on the scene latest. You know, he was always a bit smaller growing up. He wasn't, I suppose, as big as the rest of us, so we had to take it handy on him. But you could see he always had a bit of pace and stuff, and a bit of liveliness about him. And we used to always play, you know, like, you know, around the house, outside the front. Maybe it might be me and Shane against Michael and Stephen, you know, and we used to kind of just hold on to the ball and take it off each other. But no, we definitely had good banter around the house, and we definitely made, I suppose, we grew up together, and we made each other better people. 100%. Since the day I was born, it was all about Castlehaven, and still is. You know, I can remember being, you know, 9, 10 years old, after our training, maybe in the Blackfield or over here in Mullavillan, we'd be after training, you know, maybe an hour on the pitch, and I'd be hanging around for another 2 hours kicking balls out to the seniors. And you know, I can just remember the great footballers that we had around here, you know, Niall, Denny, Fra, you had Colin Crowley, Paddy Hurley, Bernie Collins, Liam Collins. You know, you had such a pick of selection, and you know, kicking ball out to them was just, I said I couldn't wait to grow fast. I would love to fast forward time at the time to get out there and kick balls as high as they could kick them. But no, early memories was always to play at Castlehaven, and you know, I'm living that little dream now. My first debut was against Island Rovers, and you know, I suppose Castlehaven wouldn't have been in the most promising time at the time. I know we weren't really winning too many matches at the time. I think it was 2008 I made my debut. I think 2009 it was down in it was inside in Skibbereen. It was actually, I wasn't even tagged out for the first game. I went to a replay, and I came on the last 5 minutes of it, and I went to extra time. We won it after. It was absolutely massive. I can remember we were singing in the dressing room and everything. It was some experience to be involved in. I was involved with the minors at the start of the year, but the pace between the minor and senior football was unbelievable. But it was an unbelievable experience to be mixing in a West Cork derby, and there's nothing more I'd rather jump into, only the deep end.
Castlehaven had two very good pitches, Bohane and Blackfield. Great memories of playing on both those pitches, and great to play in front of the supporters as well.
Yeah, 100%. They're always behind you, winning or losing. I think that was proven down in Clarny against Crokes a few years ago. And we lost the game by 4 or 5 points, and we got clapped off the field. That's always the way the club has been since day one. They're with you, they're behind you, the good times and in the bad. I had some very good days down at Blackfield in early ages that, I suppose have impressed me and brought me on as a player, and I suppose gave me a bit of a name. Then I suppose, mainly I suppose it's been Mull of the Land the last few years where I've been playing senior in 21, and I suppose you're playing with your best friends, and there's nothing more you enjoy than playing in your home pitch. I think we're just mad for football. We live for it down here. There's nothing else really taking away from that. There's not too many people play rugby or soccer around. It's all football generated, and everyone here wants to win. It's the most important thing. It's not just about competing. People want to get results and get it over the line. And I think the biggest thing of all is to put the jersey in a better place than where it has been before. And if you look back, the fellas that played in the jersey over the years and what they actually put into it, it's not just to throw it there and leave it there after. You kind of want to put intensity and the winning way into it. And as I said, Castlehaven has been a successful club in the past, and we're just trying to make it in a better place at the moment. I suppose it means everything to me, because I wouldn't have nothing for it otherwise. Who knows where I'd be if I wasn't playing with Castlehaven now. I suppose growing up, football was an answer for everything to me. I had the best of the coaches, the best of parents who gave me everything I needed to put me in the right path. I suppose the likes of my late uncle Joe Regan definitely has to get a mention. He used to bring me over in training, come down to the house, put him out of the way, drop me over, take me back. Same with the old fella, if the game was in Donegal, he'd drop me up in the morning. Every trial I went to with Cork and whatnot there was no question of doing spins. But it's all down to my club, Castlehaven, and where I come, and all the mentors that helped me along the way. They all know who they are, and look, we're in a good position now, and it's just I think we're on the dual carriageway. It's just to get on the motorway and really get the car motoring. And I think we're not doing a bad job at the minute, but to play at my club means everything, and I'm going to be all about Castlehaven from the day I was born till the day I finish. Yeah, 100%. I just coming over here this afternoon, and I seen young fellas training over in the back pitch there. There's about 15 of them, and they look so small. But I was there once upon a time, and I know they probably have role models and whatnot, but it's to look up to them and how they play and try to learn from the best of them there. When I'm out and about in the pitch, I try to say hello to the most and give them a little bit of boost if I can or whatnot. And if, a lot of them would have questions and whatnot. So I was doing a bit with James Mack in the schools and stuff there over the last few years, and it's good to see them, and you can see a few stars in the making anyhow, which is great to see. Yeah, like every year, you know what I mean. We want to be there at the end of the year. At the business end, as we like to know it. I think the way we get there is we learn from last year what we did wrong. Maybe in the first game, I think we probably should have won it in the first day, but in fairness, Nemo, they came out all guns blazing second day, and I think they were the better team overall on the second day. I think we have to learn from what we did wrong, as I said, and I think we have to get more out of ourselves, especially our bigger players, like myself included. I think we have to if one fella's getting shut down, we have to find the other fellas, and everyone else does step up. But to be honest with you, as I said, I think we're on the highway. We're on the good road. We just need to get when the big games do come, we're there for the crunches, and as I said, every year we go for the whole log. Yeah, it is very, very special. I can remember I don't get too emotional, but after winning in 2013, with Michael wasn't really involved in 2012, but it was special. I can remember the four of us, we had the picture hanging up at home in the living room, the four of us grabbing onto each other after the game. But I suppose, look, if you look at the reality, like, you know, every one of us is on the team is kind of very close, like, you know what I mean, in terms of, I know I've 3 brothers in the team, whatnot, but every one of them else is nearly a part of the family, in terms of, like, I'd have no bother go up and walking into their front living room without even knocking on the door. It's that kind of way, that's the way the parish is, like, you know what I mean. We hang around together, we you know what I mean, if we're going out, there's 10 or 12 of us, there's not just 1 or 2 of us. It's just the way we are, and I don't know, I think it's good enough too, in a way, because you're always bonding, you're always discussing stuff. But yeah, I know I have 3 brothers, but I reckon, you know, in all honesty, you know, every one of them is nearly a part of the family. That we're together so much, and, you know, that's what it's all about, the club, I think. Yeah, you know, you have your good days and your bad days. I think over the last few years, unfortunately, we've had 3 or 4 bad days where we've got hockeyed off the field. You know, they're not easy days to follow by the days after. Like, you know, like, I think generally Cork football has massive potential. I think we've got unbelievable talent in the squad at the minute. What I don't like is the keyboard warriors, like, you know, as an inter-county footballer, and I think I can talk for a lot of inter-county footballers here, that it's not all as rosy as people think, like what people do behind the scenes, and you know, like, in terms of, you know, everyone has a job as well. They work and they get up in the morning, and you know, people putting them down, I don't really agree with that, to be honest with you. You know, then we have to go back training in the evening, and you might get home, you know, if you start work at maybe 6:30, 7, you might be home till 11 o'clock at night. People don't take that into account, and, you know, it's easy to throw a comment when the team is down, but in fairness, I think the boys reacted well. You know, we came back to Dublin, we should have probably beat them up in their home ground in Croker, and, you know, the performance against Monaghan was outstanding. So, you know, our next step in the stride now is down at home. We hopefully, you know, I know it won't be easy, because they're after playing well, in fairness, all year, and we're looking for 2 points to stay up and just be safe in Division 1. 100%. I always believe in it. That's why I train, you know, every night of the week, and why I look after myself and my body, and, you know, and all that. It's all about a belief in the squad, and I know we're going the right direction now. As I said, I wouldn't be too worried about one heat up in the camp, as long as we're in flying season for the business end, which is championship. Yeah, it is. It's I suppose, you know, my first taste of the Cork jersey was actually 2004 in the primary game down in Killarney. You know, I was lucky enough to be picked from my school down Newton Hall at 5th class, and believe it or not, I was playing cornerback the first day, but we're playing in front of 43,000 people down in Killarney with a full house, and in terms of, I knew straight away where I wanted to go with my future. I knew I wanted to be part of this. I knew I wanted the roar, the crowd, the atmosphere. It was unbelievable. I said, no matter what, this is where I want to be, and whatever it took, I was going to get there. I suppose 2013 came very quickly after that. I went up through the ranks of all the underage. 2013 was an absolute unbelievable experience above in Limerick, putting on. I wasn't getting any league time. I was getting a bit angry at myself, saying, I was looking at management, questioning. I was saying, what am I doing wrong here? I thought I was going well in training. Didn't get a look in until the first championship game, which is unusual. First, you usually get a few league games, but my first taste against Limerick, and, you know, I never looked back. Putting on that jersey that day was unbelievable. Got a fluky goal to make it even sweeter, and you know, I never looked back. Killarney was a month after that. You know, at 21 years old, playing in front of, I said, 43,000 people. And it was for real this time. It wasn't just for 10 minutes, it was for 70 minutes marking Mark O'Shea. So it was a real experience, and, you know, unfortunately at the end we didn't get the result. But as I said, putting on the Cork jersey was just, it was an unbelievable experience, and it was something I'll never forget. Well, for club, straight up, is Paddy's Day. I want to get there in All-Ireland final. I don't want to just get there and get it over the line. That's my achievement since I ever put on a Castlehaven jersey, and it will be till I stop playing Castlehaven. I know counties aren't easily won or not that, and talk is cheap, but my end goal is an All-Ireland club with Castlehaven. With Cork, obviously it is, it's not about just getting the Cork gear or putting on the jersey anymore or making a name for yourself. It's about collecting silverware, and that's what I'm in team for this year and every other year. And I think everyone, I can talk for that for everyone else in the panel. First of all, you'll target the first game of the season, championship, but you will look for Munsters and All Irelands. It's all about silverware at this level, and that's what I'm here for.
Fine.
Yeah, I suppose, if I was being honest, sometimes I like to go into kind of quiet mode. If it means just trying on the earphones and watching Netflix or whatnot, that so be it. I have good buddies then that I like to, give them a bit of a hammering in FIFA. They call me the FIFA king, just to let you know. No, I didn't obviously socialise with the boys. Obviously to go out with the Cork lads is good crack as well. But you can't be drinking with the lads down here because you can scot them even more and have the banter. But no, I even enjoy there, after Cork as well, coming down club training, because there's 3 or 4 of them right to nail you. So they think your head's up in the air, and if it's not David Limerick, it's Roland Welton coming for you. So that's a bit of banter as well, and it's kind of a bit more relaxed because there's a bit more less pressure around here, because the boys will only be scutting you and having the crack as well. So as I said, it's all about enjoying it, and I'm enjoying my life at the minute in terms of playing with Cork and Castlehaven, and work is going well. So in terms of if you're not happy, I wouldn't be involved, and I'm delighted what I'm doing. And as I said, it's all about enjoying it at the end of the day and getting results.